everybody. Raul here with Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor and pleasure of chatting with up-and-coming bassist Jason Leopold.
Hey.
Starting from the beginning, Jason, you are, just for kind of like the timestamp, how old are you right now?
I am 18.
18 years old. So at the very beginning of what we're hoping is going to be a wonderful musical journey.
Absolutely.
But you've got a lot going on already. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in music and on bass.
I got started in music literally just by asking my dad, like, oh, I want a guitar. Literally in the car, because, I wanted to do something with my life. And not just going around friends' houses, going playing video games. I just wanted to get into something. So music was kind of the way that I wanted to go. So I asked for a guitar, broke the top two strings, the B and the E string, and started playing that like a bass. And then 2 years later, I got my first bass. I asked my dad for a bass for real, and kind of kickstarted it all for me around 7, 8 years old.
Did he start putting you in classes and stuff?
I took a class in elementary. Shout out to Mitchell Elementary School out here in Santa Clarita. Okay. Just doing bass classes, teaching me about reading and, the fundamentals of it. Well, not the fundamentals. That was a little after. I started taking lessons at Guitar Center out in Stevenson's Ranch out here in California. And by an instructor, shout out to Daniel Roberts. Mentor, instructor, but more nowadays a friend. Yeah, so he's been along the way since I was 11 years old.
Now, when did you as you were continuing, you must have decided to get a little more serious about it because you've come along quite a ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I got serious around 13 years old because I played at a church, and another mentor of mine, DeAndre Thomas, from Detroit, played out here in Santa Clarita. And you had artists like Eddie Brown, who's worked with so many people. Stevie Wonder, he played the Stevie Wonder tribute with Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, and gospel artist named Brent Jones. That was very cool. But it was more like music boot camp for me.
Gotcha.
Because it was sink or swim, basically. They didn't care if I was young, 13 years old. They wanted to see if I was serious, and I was. I mean, I came every Sunday, with the bass ready to go, and wouldn't even tell me sometimes what the songs were. It's like, oh, we're gonna play this song. It's like I don't know what song I'm gonna do. Like, what is this? What is this? So I had to pick up on the fly pretty fast, but it taught me. If I wanted to be serious, you had to, think like the guys that, I was playing with, very seasoned, professionals.
As you've progressed to now, are you planning on pursuing further studies? Or?
So I'm going to do junior college for a couple of years just to get the studies and whatnot, just some regular classes. And then I'm going to transfer to Cal State Northridge for music.
Okay. Pursuing
music production and basically a producer because I love just the mind of a producer and songwriter. It's great. So that's what I'm going for. Gotcha. And stuff, just in the future, man, I'll be working with an up-and-coming artist named Chase Huna, saxophonist, working on an album. And then hopefully, he gets, the album gets big and we'll, promote it going on tour. So it should be a lot of fun.
You've already developed a sound of your own, and this comes to gear.
Yes.
You're a Kiesel player?
Bam!
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, I've been a Kiesel player now for going on 4 years. 4 years. I mean, I played an old Carvin. It was actually Divinity Rox's bass.
Oh, wow.
Green Carvin Icon bass. She had it for probably 10 years, and my dad sent out a video to the CEO of Kiesel, Jeff Kiesel, and Jeff saw the video. Well, the artist relations saw the video and showed it to Jeff, and Jeff at Bass Player Live 2015 saw me and approached me. He said, "It's like I like the stuff that you're doing, and you sound great. And I heard that you have one of our older, carvings." I said, "Yes." And he asked, "It's like, well, how would you like to have a brand new custom one? I just had to, trade it in." I'm like, yeah, that works. And that's how we started this whole, it's more of like a family bond now, with
Nice.
Kiesel. So it's great. And that's how this bad boy came about.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a green Kiesel PB5. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's still, well, they're all kind of my favorites, It's like choosing from like, what's your favorite child?
yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
You're already up to an arsenal of about 4 of them, aren't you?
Yeah, 4 of them. I've been playing it's not my newest one. This is my newest one here.
The headless?
The headless, the Zeus, Kiesel headless Zeus bass. Phenomenal, by the way. But I've been playing lately a Kiesel JB5.
Okay.
JB5, and it's as close to my bass that I just fell in love with. My first bass I fell in love with, which is a Fender Jaguar bass. It's the closest thing to that sound.
Gotcha.
And just the cutting edge with it, the absolute bottom end that it displays, it's phenomenal. And absolutely love it. It's in the gig bag right now, but yeah, it's so much fun to play.
Gotcha. And what other elements in your sound? What kind of strings are you using?
I'm using DR,
Okay.
just DR, nickel, and coated strings, the coated neon strings when you want to get really flashy.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly it's the DR Pure Blues. Light gauge sets, 40 to 120.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I love the light strings so I can get really deep with it. I can just rely on the preamp most of the time to give me that, bottom end if I need it.
Gotcha.
But as far as cutting edge, especially with the lower strings, it sounds like a piano string, when you hit that low A or low D, because I tuned down a whole step as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it has that clarity that I love. So that 120 it's phenomenal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And from your basses following your sound chain, amplification, what are you playing on?
TC Electronic. I am playing through 2 cabs. It's a 210. It's a K210 with a K212.
Okay.
And the bass head is a BH800, TC Electronic BH800. Phenomenal power and phenomenal headroom for a Class B head. It's very nice, and my favorite thing is the tone print. I love the tone print stuff that they have with it. I have fun with that. Yeah. A lot of stuff I can't use on the gigs, but just during practicing.
Sure.
Oh, it's great.
Got you. And along that, because of modified sound, are you using much in the way of pedals?
I'm using the Boss GT1B.
Mm-hmm.
And this is it's a lot of fun. I mainly use this for synthesizer sounds and some sort of, envelope filters as well.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly the synthesizer stuff because I know how to play key bass, but it just makes it easier to get that key bass sound, So I use that quite a bit.
And any other particular elements that you've incorporated into your gear?
That's pretty much it. I mean, as far as looks go, I use LM straps, LM products.
Okay.
So those, just stuff that I've been liking, the leather straps, there's a snake print one. It's very eye-catching.
Gotcha.
But as far as other elements for sound, that's about it. DR strings, light gauge strings, and TC Electronic amps.
Since you're young and strong, the appearance of things is probably the more important thing to you. As you start getting older, you start thinking,
oh yeah, for sure.
How is this strap going to distribute the weight on this bass? And
Kiesel helps that out quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Their weight is not really heavy. It's more, I wouldn't say it's light as a feather, but it's
Oh no.
even. It's even. It's like even weight. You know how the neck sometimes with the bass is really heavy
Mm-hmm.
and it starts weighing on your shoulder here? Kiesel has that weight to where it's just even.
Nice.
Like your whole body feels it and it doesn't feel that heavy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So around 9, 10, at the most, probably 11 pounds,
Yeah.
but just even weight.
Well, and
Oh, yeah.
you need to have some mass to be able to get the resonance that you're looking for.
Right.
But as I have the opportunity to sample various basses, I know I picked up one of the ones you'd mentioned, the Jaguars.
Hmm.
And I picked up one of those. I'm like, oh man, this is a little heavy.
Yeah.
I could play this sitting down.
Yeah, exactly. Little 8-year-old me was having struggles with that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I never had a short scale bass. So I always had a regular scale, 34-inch scale bass.
Mm-hmm.
And that Jaguar, it had some weight to it.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
For a 4-string, but yeah, that's what I was used to.
Oh yeah. Well, and along that line, even you get a hold of some of those Thunderbirds because they use mahogany
Yeah.
in those.
Yeah.
And I get it if you're a young rockin' dude that you kind of go, okay, yeah, I'm out there with 12, 13 pounds of bass.
Right.
You know, power to you, but as you get older,
Real
you
talk.
kind of go, yeah, maybe light is going to work better.
Oh, they learned the hard way later down the line. It's like, oh God, oh man, that's I can only imagine those Thunderbirds. I never played one with a strap. I played it just on my lap, and yeah, I can feel the weight for sure.
Yeah, totally. Well,
Yeah.
and looking ahead, because I know we're speculating here, but what plans for the future? You mentioned you're working on an album.
Yeah.
What's in the works?
What's in the works for me? I mean, just kind of helping out my friend Chase Huna with his album. But as far as myself, stay motivated and, with social media, because that's pretty much the way how you get yourself heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the limelight of social media, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. But the main thing for myself is I want to start my own group with some friends of mine because we all have phenomenal sounds. My friend Makai Curtis on drums, my friend Marco Cerroti on guitar, a friend of mine, Brandon Crockett on keys, and myself on bass.
Gotcha.
And I believe in my heart that we can have just a sound. I mean, we're already at the age to where we can really, still have looks. You're like, oh my God, that's a young band. Wow. And they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That I look for that as well. But as far as musicality, I think we just have it. And we have, different styles. Brandon is more gospel. Makai is more your R&B type stuff. On drums, more R&B. Marco's more of the classic rock and actually more classical, Spanish guitar stuff. And I'm just kind of a mixture of your smooth jazz, your gospel, your R&B, and fusion. Okay. So you mix all those stuff together, man. I believe we'll have a pretty solid band. I'm gonna start looking into that.
There you go.
That's my main thing for the future. And after this interview, hopefully I get around the road because I'm going for my driving test.
Oh, well, there you go. Good.
I'm going for that. So hopefully I pass and, have some more opportunities now.
Get freedom to be out on the road.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, it's the juggling of the life things and music things and all of these. I didn't want to forget to ask, what kind of music do you think your band, what are you guys interested in playing?
Basically fusion.
Okay.
Fusion, we'll kind of morph some styles with fusion and alternative type styles, but mainly within those realms.
Gotcha.
So we'll start into that maybe in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned with that.
Nice.
But man, it should be fun.
And if people want to know what you're up to, you mentioned social media. What is your Facebook and Instagram?
Facebook is just my name, Jason Leopold, and Instagram is Jason Leopold Bass, all one word. Jason Leopold Bass.
Perfect. And I do want to seize the moment because as a father of a musician myself,
Nice.
I do want to mention your dad, Willie, because you have a great cheerleader and supporter, and he couldn't be prouder of what you're doing. And, you know, it's always great to have somebody in your corner that's rooting for you.
100%, yes. Yeah. I wouldn't have half of the stuff, man. I mean, as far as, first of all, I wouldn't even probably be a musician, you know, if it wasn't for my dad's support, man. Mm-hmm. It's phenomenal, you know, to have that support system and, like you said, a cheerleader on the side, man.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. It's great to have.
Our son is a sax player, and
nice.
we kind of went the same way, like where you are with an arsenal of basses. We geared him up with an arsenal of horns, and
nice.
You know, before you know it, we went kind of vintage, and so a lot of the older horns, like his tenor is a 1955 Con, and so
man.
he can push out some sound, and he's got his baritone is a 1918 old Navy horn.
Wow,
used to be in one of the Navy bands, and so that bad boy just puts out, it pushes a lot of air. So, you know,
that's so cool, man.
I can see your dad's excitement. I know because I've been there around the same age.
Right.
So anyway, Jason, we're very excited. We're going to be paying close attention to what you've got going in the future. Make sure you keep us in the loop, folks.
Absolutely.
Stay on top of what Jason's got going on. Lots of exciting things coming down the pike. You've seen him here on Bass Musician Magazine.